Today I thought I would do a book versus movie comparison review type thing. It will be more of a review than a comparison, I think, because I can't remember how I format these types of videos, because I think the last time I did something like this was Paper Towns, and that was back in 2015, I think. Yeah, first off, I have to admit I wasn't actually planning on reading this book just because of all the hype around it and also the constant comparison to Gone Girl. Now, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in the past, but I actually didn't like Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I actually didn't finish the book. I did, however, watch the movie and absolutely loved that movie. But yeah, the book I was not into, and since this was being compared to Gone Girl, I wasn't planning on reading it. But I did receive it as a Christmas gift from my brother, and his girlfriend has also been raving on about this book and telling me to read it. But anyway, I'm actually really glad that I did read it because I really enjoyed it. So The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins is about a woman who's basically an alcoholic, and she spends her days on the train in the same carriage, and she looks out over these houses that she passes every single day. And what she does is she kind of looks at the families in those houses and she makes up stories about them. Like, obsessively makes up stories about how their lives are and what their personalities are like and all that stuff. One day, a woman from one of the houses that she passes every single morning disappears, and that's kind of where the story starts. So one of my favorite things about this whole story are the characters. I know that this is supposed to be a psychological thriller, but I think the way it's written and the plot and everything, it really can't help but also be a character study on Rachel, Megan, and Anna. Now, obviously in the book we get perspectives from each woman, and I didn't think that I would like that aspect because I'm not usually one to really like, you know, different perspectives and different points of views in books, but I thought that it flowed really well, and compared to the movie, I actually really liked the way it was done in the movie as well. It did take a little bit of time getting used to, but I think because I've read the book, I knew how it was supposed to be told and how it was supposed to be formatted. I kind of got used to it really quickly, you know, the whole jumps of time back and forth. I felt that the movie, unlike the book, was very atmospheric. I really liked the way it was formatted because it would have these really weird, unstable kind of jump cuts, and I'm not sure if that was intended or not. It's one of those really quiet, atmospheric, creepy type movies, which I didn't really get from the book, so I really liked that aspect of it from the movie. The pacing I felt really worked because I literally read this in 2 days, and I'm known for a really slow reader, so I felt that it was really good because it was gripping and it didn't take too much time explaining things. It's one of those books where, because we are mostly told from the point of view of Rachel, who's very unstable and very kind of a little bit messed up in the head, we were just as confused as she was. So she's trying to piece things together and we're also trying to piece things together, so it didn't really feel like it took too long to get to where it ended up. Having said that, I felt that the pacing, although I kind of really enjoyed it in the movie just because it did work and it did flow in my opinion, I kind of wanted more from the suspense in the movie that I got from the book and I didn't get from the movie. In both the book and movie, I really love the characters. I think I actually really love the characters more in the movie than I did in the book, just because the characters are so interesting. Rachel in particular, Emily Blunt in the movie really did a nice job of kind of portraying Rachel's mind and putting us as the viewer into her like perspective, because she's confused about everything that's happening around her. I also really love the portrayal of Megan the most. We didn't get a lot of Anna, which I was weirded out about, because we got a lot of her personality in the book, and I hated her the most in the book in the beginning because she was just so petty and judgmental and all that. But in the movie we didn't really get too much of that, which I can understand because it's not really it doesn't really matter. That's just one thing I noticed. I absolutely loved the portrayal of Megan in the movie because she is probably, I would suggest she's the least likable out of the three, and I think you could really see that in the movie as opposed to the book, because the book almost made me feel sympathetic for Megan, but in the movie made me realize that she's not actually a victim. Again, it's one of those really slow, kind of quiet type movies where you have to pay a lot of attention. Having said all that, I felt that the ending in both the book and the movie was a little underwhelming. I felt that it was smart. I really like it. I like the book and the movie as a whole, you know, I like the story of it, but the ending, I don't know if I wanted more or if I just wanted it to surprise me more, because I don't think it surprised me in the book when I read the book, and it didn't surprise me when I watched the movie. So yeah, that's just kind of my disappointing factor about it. Overall, I think I really enjoyed the book and I would recommend it to people, but when it comes to the movie, I think you can skip it. It doesn't really add anything to the whole story, and it wasn't that exciting. But anyway, if you have any thoughts on the book or the movie, please leave them down below, and I will see you guys soon.